Hi, and welcome to today's video. We're gonna be making a pumpkin pie for the holidays. We're gonna be making our pumpkin pie gluten-free, dairy-free, and free of any animal products. So we're making a whole food, plant-based pumpkin pie today. We're keeping it free of any refined sugars as well. So it's gonna be a complete makeover on our traditional pumpkin pie, yet still retain all that taste and flavor that we love. We're gonna start off with making our crust. So we're doing a unique twist on our crust here. We're gonna be making it from walnuts and dates. So I've got our dates here. I'm gonna go through and make sure that they're pitted, because if not, that can mess with the blade on your food processor. So we've got the nice soft Medjool dates here, which are just nice and creamy and caramely. So if they are not soft, maybe you've got some older dates, then you can soak them in water. So we've got our half a cup of dates in here. Now, Jack, can you pour in our walnuts in there for me? So we're using 1.5 cups of walnuts. Perfect. Now put that other cup in there for me, please. Excellent. Again, remember, during the holidays and just during cooking in general, get the kids included in the kitchen. It's a great way to, especially if you have some picky eaters, to increase their likelihood of wanting to taste new foods and recipes the more that they help out. So get them in the kitchen during the holidays and have them help out. So then we're just gonna add in a teaspoon of some vanilla, and that's it. Our crust is 3 ingredients. So traditional pie crusts are gonna be really high in fat from the shortening that they use in there. That is high in calories, and it's the bad fat that's not good for our heart and our arteries. So in here we've got this whole foods, walnuts, which are so rich in omega-3s and our healthy unsaturated fats, a good source of vitamins, minerals, fiber, and our dates, which is a whole food sweetener that also have fiber and other good nutrients in them. So we just want to process them till we get the mixture starting to stick together and form a ball. All right, so let's take a look at our crust here. So this actually is perfect. It's starting to stick together. So that's what we're going for. So what I like to do for our crust is I like to put down some parchment paper, and then I like to put down another piece of parchment paper on top to press it down to make it a little easier. You could use a rolling pin. If you have the Silpat mats, you could use one of those as well. So Jack, can you help me? We need to press this down, and we don't have to get it completely perfect because we can finish it off in here, but it just helps start it off, getting it flattened out a little bit easier. Great. So now can you help me just kind of press this up on the sides? We can kind of take some and move it over here to even it out a little bit. So now our crust is done. We're gonna move on to our filling. So this is so simple and easy. So we always know our base ingredient for a pumpkin pie is our canned pumpkin. So we wanna just buy the pumpkin puree, not the canned pumpkin pie that has all the sugar in it. So I've got one 15-ounce can of pumpkin. Secret ingredient in here that you don't need to tell people about, we're gonna use a block of tofu. So I typically like to, it's a very forgiving recipe. You can make it with the soft tofu, with the silken tofu, the firm. It doesn't matter. It doesn't need to be one specific type of tofu, but an entire block of tofu. By doing the tofu in here, one of the things that we are doing for our pumpkin pie, we're actually adding quite a bit of protein now to our pumpkin pie. but keeping it free of all the fats that our traditional pumpkin pies have in them. Tofu is also really rich in iron. And our pumpkin is another ingredient that is really rich in iron, which is a very important nutrient for growing children. So it's something that we really want to be intentional to prioritize in our kids' diets. And to help with the absorption of the iron in our food, we want to make sure that we're having vitamin C rich foods with it. So our pumpkin also is a rich source of vitamin C as well. So we're doing both here in this combo, iron rich and vitamin C. So now our sweetener in this recipe is we're using 1 cup of dates. So what I did beforehand to get them nice and soft so the blender isn't having to work too hard is I soaked them in some warm water. So I'm just gonna drain that water off. I'm gonna throw it in our blender here. If you wanna get just a little bit more sweetness but not add any refined sugar, we can add just a little bit of maple syrup. So I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of maple syrup just to add a little bit more sweetness. And then we need our pumpkin pie spice. I'm actually gonna do 2 heaping teaspoons because my pumpkin pie spice is a little bit older and our spices lose some of that robust flavor the older that they are. So if you didn't buy your pumpkin pie spice this year, then maybe do a little bit larger of a teaspoon to add in here. And again, adjust the amount based on your flavor profile that you like. And then we are just gonna add a teaspoon of a little vanilla. And that's it. Those are our ingredients. Okay, so we've got our pie filling ready here. Let's get this in here and in the oven. So pumpkin pie is a good recipe to make the day before, 2 days before. This does not need to be made the day of. Make things a little bit easier on the amount that you're having to prep and cook the day of your holiday. All right, so now let's get this popped in the oven.